Right, hi guys, welcome to Warhammer. Tonight we're going to start a new series of video. I'm here with Martin.
Hello.
We've got some images of his towel that will be on the video. You can have a look. So essentially I've had an idea. Obviously we've just changed to 8th edition. So what I decided to do is try and get a load of people who played lots of 7th edition and now playing 8th edition to show us their armies, talk to us about what they did have, talk to us about how that worked, what they've now got and the big differences they've noticed. Now, Tau should be a big one because they've been really hit with an earth bat, thankfully. It makes me really happy. You not so much because you spent a fortune. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about his old list and kind of how that worked. And then we will go on to the new list that he's looking at, working on and using, and then we'll see the major changes and the differences between the two to see how badly they've been affected. They've been affected really badly. It makes me so happy. So first of all then, mate, if you just talk us through the old list. You used to take an 1850 point list, pretty much.
So the old list I never finished. When I found out that the new edition was coming out, I quickly just held fire with it. So what I did have, because I was going to a doubles tournament, is I had finished a Riptide Wing, 15 marker lights to go alongside it as well. And we used that in a doubles list where technically we came last, but we had more sportsman's points than someone else, so we didn't come last, so it didn't do that well, but I blame my brother for that. And then so the original idea was, before I even knew it was filth, is I really liked the Riptide as a model, and I quite liked the big models, so I was going to do a Riptide Wing, a drone net alongside, so actually it would have been 16 because it's lots of 4 marker lights here.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then a heavy retribution cadre as well, which is 2 storm surges and a ghost keel to go alongside it, with the old rule of when the ghost keel got closer, the storm surges got better. And it was just going to be a really cool list, and the idea was, when you see the models, that I just wanted to crack them out really quickly. So it was all about effort versus reward when doing them. So a Riptide, for example, if you started at 9 in the morning, it would be finished by the end of the night. But if you let it dry, so I let them dry overnight with the varnishes and things, obviously it took like a bit longer than that. So it's just about cracking out really quick. But luckily I didn't buy the Storm Surges. I was about to put 140 quid into that when the new edition came out.
I really wish you'd bought
Oh god, I'm so glad I didn't. But they could still work now. And that was 1850 basically, as it was back... Only a couple of weeks ago now, really. It's not been that long.
No, yeah, about a month or so.
Yeah.
So how did you see that working then? Because obviously most people will know the Riptide Wing, most people will know the Heavy Retribution. That was the one that...
That was the double Storm Surge list.
So most people know that, and most people knew the Drone Net, because you tended to see, maybe not so much the Heavy Retribution cadre, we tended to see Drone Net, Riptide Wing and Optimised Stealth cadre as your 3 detachments in tournament type lists.
Yeah.
Pretty common for 2 of those formations. One of them's a bit different. But essentially, it's just a big bunch of monsters and loads of drones floating around. Yeah,
the whole idea was I was going to just sit the Storm Surges at the back, shoot anything I didn't like the look of, or someone had told me that they'd painted recently, because that's always what you like to take out. And then I was going to use the Riptides to hold the objectives, because they used to be beasts to kill, didn't they? I mean, the Riptides, they all had Feel No Pain, they were in the wing as well, they had the invulnerable save, so they weren't going to disappear easy. So in terms of Maelstrom and things like that, well, you've got to get Riptide off an objective.
Yeah.
Or... if you get to put your own one in there, you've got to get Storm Surge off it, which is never going to be easy, where you're walking towards them, and potentially they can overwatch each other as well. So,
and of course Riptide shooting was good anyway.
Yeah,
and with drone support, even better.
Yeah, and if you made it Farsight Enclave, we were saying before, you got no minuses for that, and you could put in the Firecast pilot, so you had one guy that got to reroll 1s, so you could have him hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, just on his own, and he got to redo his Nova Reactor, so the heavy burst one was just stand at the back, just at one turn, just firing it twice and just blasting anything that he didn't like the look of. And they were just bits of beasts really, but obviously it's all kind of changed with the new rules.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine, Lee, hi Lee, he was a big Tau player, massive Farsight fan, and he used to take Riptides, Yavaras, he had a Storm Surge. I don't think if he ever got some Ghost Kills, he might correct me if I'm wrong. And many times I got blasted off the board by Tau, because it was just one big wall of... And they had that jump, shoot, jump stuff as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
so you could move out, shoot and jump back out the way. A lot of that's gone now. I used to have my Eldar jet bikes, and I know you've got Eldar jet bikes as well. A lot of movement, and that was arguably tactical, arguably a bit of cheese, because you could jump out, you could fire your weapon, and then you could jump back out the way. Which is brilliant, because I'm out in front of the ruin, I shoot you, I'm back behind the ruin, you can't hurt me. That was lovely fun. I say fun, for me that was fun. But I got smashed many times by Lee's Tau.
Yeah.
Because it was just a wall of big, angry, tough monsters that you couldn't kill and blasted you off the board.
Yeah, and obviously you could use an overreact to jump 3d6, so if you needed to take the objective, potentially on your jetpack, maybe you could just fly away. And in the old rules, obviously, toe in cover. If you wanted to be that guy, toe in cover. They got a cover save, so you don't get the armor save. Well,
I played that with my Wraith Knight to start with, just because that was a rule.
Yeah,
I was that guy for a few games.
And
not normally friendly games, mostly just competitive games. I'd do that because why wouldn't you exploit rules in competitive games? That's kind of the point. But yeah, I did that
against friends.
Well, exactly.
Depends on friends, really, doesn't it?
Anyway, what we're going to do is we'll move on in a minute to his new 2,000 point list, because that seems to be the benchmark now. 2,000 points, I think. It seems to be the sweet spot for everybody. We'll talk about how he's going to change it and how he thinks that will play. And then what we'll do is we'll compare the main differences, because I think these guys have really been hit hard. I thought my Elder had been hit hard, but Tau have really been smashed, which is amusing, to be honest. I think it's quite funny. But I'm going to get some water, because mine hasn't got beer. He's as bad as my wife. No beer and doesn't put out. What's the point? Cool. Right, so we've been through Martin's old list in the old edition that probably used to wreck face, I'd imagine. Most towel lists like that seem to do quite well. So now he's had to adapt, because 8th edition is here and old lists don't work anymore. They're all different. There's been big changes to marker lights, changes to no reactor, changes to points, more specifically for Riptides. So we're going to get him to talk us through his new list first and why he's changed what he's changed, and if there's any specific reason apart from simply the fact that things now cost more. And then we'll have a bit of a chat about how Tau are different in this edition, why we think they're now either good, bad, average or what, and that'll be it. And then if you like the video, we'll do some more for different armies. We've got some people lined up who are interested in filming. By the time this one's out, I'd have already filmed 3 or 4, so if you don't like them, they're going to come out anyway. Tough. Anyway, so your new list, 2k now?
Yeah.
Still Tau?
Yeah, it's painted, it's ready to go. So.
You sound so deflated about it. All this effort, now it's rubbish.
It's alright.
So what have we got?
Well, if you compare it to the old ones, if you put through the heavy Retribution Cadra, the Riptide and the drone net. So put those together before you even put any upgrades on them, but you can't really because they're not comparable anymore in terms of the points. So, like they've gone to like 6 and 8 points, aren't they, for some of these upgrades? Yeah. You're at 2,000 points just for the basic for 3 Riptides, 16 Marker Light drones, and 2 Storm Surges and a Ghost Kill. Jeez. And then you got to upgrade and downgrade. I know, like when you change the weapons and things, sometimes they become cheaper, more expensive. That's out the window. That's gone. I don't even know if you could really do it that well anymore, because you'd have to take 2 auxiliary detachments, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You usually command points.
Yeah, which is all right, and you'd have 3 elites, but you still need a HQ for the elites one, don't you? So you can't.
Yes.
So you physically can't have it anymore. Like there is no way to put it together because you need to have a HQ in there, minimum. So the new 2001, and it's literally because it's painted, but it also works all right. Is the 3 Riptides again, 2 with heavy burst cannons, plasma rifles, and 1 with the ion accelerator and plasma rifles, and they've all got target lock, I think it is one now, which means when you move and shoot, you don't suffer the -1 for heavy, which is all right. I've got Yavara in there from Forge World, which is unbelievably filthy. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that when I've used it. I've got the Ghost Keel in there, and then so because you have a HQ, I've always liked it. I thought it was really cool. I've got the Cold Star Commander in it.
The flying battleship.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah. He used to sort of sweep around, and the idea of him was to like go around as a monstrous creature, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he can deep strike now, so I took him, and they're on the painting table waiting to be done. That's why you won't see them when it gets filmed, as well as the stealth drones for the Ghost Keel. But I took 3 Crisis Bodyguards as well.
Okay.
And they're actually really quite cool in the new list. So 2,000 points has those 3 Riptides, the Yavara, which is a Riptide, but he's in first attack, a Ghost Keel with 2 drones, 3 Bodyguards, 1 with an air fragmentation grenade, 1 with a flamer, and 1 with the plasma raker, I think is the word.
Okay.
I changed the K for a P.
So quite a mix.
Yeah, and then all 3 of them have burst cannons as well. And then all 3 of them...
It took me 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then all 3 of them have smart missiles systems on as well. So the whole idea of them, and they've got 3 gun drones.
Now, do they operate independently as well now?
No, what, the drones or the
bodyguards? 3 squads of 1, is that what you call
No, just 3 squads. And then they got 3 gun drones. Originally I put marker lights on them, but the gun drones are now better with I think they're Assault 2 and they've got 2 of them. Okay. And what's really cool is they can deep strike with the new rules. So So him and the commander, those in the commander, drop down 9 inches away from you. The flamer's kind of redundant, but the amount of firepower that they crack out is unreal. Like, it is the way to go, I think, with it now. And then you can just be a bit sneaky with them. So when I was playing with them, so someone's obviously going to turn around and start shooting at you. If they charge you, a flamer on Overwatch, and all those shots, really, really cool.
Yes.
The commander's hiding behind. He can, if you want, he can use his special rule. He has, I don't know how to pronounce it, it's either Kion, isn't it? Kion or Monta.
Yeah.
But the only problem with that is you can't move. So if they're in a vulnerable situation, you'll get to re-roll with them, but they can't move anywhere, which is a bit disappointing. But the sneaky thing comes with it is that if you drop down and they get close enough to shoot your commander, your bodyguards can take the hits, right? Okay. So your bodyguards go, right, I'll take the hits. Now those 3 drones are all right, and the commander's got 2 shield drones as well. But you then go, all right, the bodyguard's going to take the hits, they get hurt, which is going to go on to the drone.
Right.
Yeah, so you end up
with a chain effect.
Yeah, so you end up with some ablative wounds. So if your commander gets had a go at, and he's got quite a good gun anyway on him, he's got, I can't remember what it is, it's like Assault 8, and then he's got smart missiles as well. He's hitting on 2s I've got it down here, just have a quick look. He's hitting on 2s, if I remember, in combat. And no, 2s to hit and 3s in combat. So
that's good.
Yeah. And they're not bad. I mean, the Crisis bodyguards as well, I think they get 3 attacks each. So if you charge at them, they're going to shoot you, they're going to have a bloody good go at you, and then they're going to pummel you in combat. And then because they've got the fly rule, they can drop back. Okay. And then you can drop back enough so that the flamer can get you. So then you have a go at them. And then if you haven't killed whatever's charged you, if you manage to survive it, because you are still Tau, but you're not bad, they don't have to charge you again. So you're going to Overwatch them again with a flamer, which they're not always guaranteed to meet with the new 2d6 rule. Yeah. So they are a really key part, as well as the Yavara. But obviously it'll be down to Forge World whether in tournaments whether Forge World's going to be allowed.
The Yavara, now, they're still a little pile of Tau cheese right there, aren't
they? Yeah, they are.
And a fast attack slot as well. I don't think I would complain so much if it competed for heavy slots with Riptides. Yeah. Or elite slots. Are Riptides heavy now? Elites? Which one are they?
They're elites. Oh. Yeah, and it does get a fast attack. But its thing is, you can use your Nova Reactor, obviously you get the mortal wounds, which people don't complain about, but it's kind of a trade-off. And it can go up and then come back down again. It has to be 9 inches away, and it's got a flamer. Which means obviously it can't come in and use it, and that's the thing that does all the damage. But it is really good, yeah, you're right, it is a beast. Yeah,
I've read that the Yavaras are still to be feared. Although the most of Tau have been toned down, they are still quite a nasty unit.
Yeah, but it will come down to whether tournaments allow Forge World. Like, if they do, Tau players, I'd take that. That is a really good, a good unit. It's a cool model as well, I quite like the model. But
yeah, there'll be some images of it, hopefully, if I can make it happen.
But all in all, it's just the things you wouldn't expect, like the suits are back, like the bodyguards and the Crisis battle suits. Obviously, there was the edition before, wasn't there, where everyone had them. You know, they had those as the troops. I think you're going to see it again because you could split them half and half and deep strike some, and then keep the others on the board, or you could still have a Storm Surge, which isn't that bad, and then obviously have one in reserve and do it that way. You've got 50-50, haven't you?
Yes.
So I think that's how you see it go. That list, the one I've talked about, it's alright, it's just, its issue comes now, and this is the problem with Riptides, is that Riptides before were a beast to kill. They were hard to kill, they were fully just cracking out everything down to the last wound.
Yes.
Obviously now they go all the way down to 5s to hit,
yeah.
And that's what gets
Which
you.
I really like as an aesthetic in the game in general.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good point to it, but you've got to give yourself a mortal wound. So automatically you're bringing yourself closer to not being as good.
You also have got to pay at least twice the points, I think.
No? Yeah. There's so many points for what they were, what they are. But I think it's because they've taken such a hit that people go, oh, they're naff now. No, they're all right. It's just if you take 3 of them like I've got, you're going to have to learn to play smart, or you're going to have to admit to yourself, actually, this isn't how the game's meant to be played anymore. And I think it's all going to shift, Tau especially. But yeah, they're still viable, I reckon, if you learn how to play them. I think it's going to be that smart army that people are going to turn up and they're going to go, everyone's going to go, well, you know, why have we got that? Like in the old edition with someone just having normal Marines, like, you know, people just have like normal Marines and maybe a Dreadnought here and there and stuff. Like, what's that going to do? But the person's played with it 100 times.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's what's Tau going to do.
Knows the combos, knows how they work. No, I think one of the key things in this edition is picking your targets as well. Certain guns, if you have a gun that does 2 damage, why are you shooting at a single Marine? It's pointless.
Yes.
If you've got a gun that does a single damage, don't shoot at a Land Raider. Knowing your targets in this edition, I think, is going to be key. I've learnt that already with some units. Helldrake firing at Space Marines in cover, no point.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you average in shooting about 2.5 wounds mathematically. Shot him at John's bikes, and because they do 2 damage a time, I think I destroyed 2 Black Knights out of a squad of 4 or 5. Doesn't sound like much, but when you compare that points value to the 3 Marines it might have killed, massive difference.
Yeah.
So it's picking your targets.
So I think, obviously, you're saying that one of the standout units for it as well, which is quite surprising, is actually the Ghost Kill. The Ghost Kill is really quite good.
Okay.
You can start a certain distance away from them. If they're outside 12 inches, they're -1 to hit. If you've got your drones, it's -1 to hit as well. But again, like there's just little cracks within the whole thing. So when you deploy, they deploy as a unit. So for example, that Crisis 6 or something about comes down as one whole unit, then the drones split out. So you could technically target the drones if you wanted. But that's what you do with the Ghost Kill. Any smart players out there who sees a Ghost Kill, just aim at the drones. Then he loses the -1 and then come within 12 inches and he's just... The only problem is, like, mine's got fusion blasters and someone will most likely have either the fusion gun or the fusion blaster. So you're going to get hurt, but you're going to hit them. So they're their thing that make them half decent. And it's like that with all the Tau, I found. Like, everything that before where they didn't have a weakness. So, like, the Storm Surge, yeah, it didn't move, but who cared anyway because it was no good in combat. Like, you just put it somewhere that it could see.
And build essentially a fortress of guns.
And I think you could still do that if you wanted. It just wouldn't work in this edition, especially with the transports are now really good. So you're going to see a lot of transport armies around the place.
I mean, I don't know if you watch Lawrence and the guys at Tabletop Tactics.
Yeah.
Bone plays Tau on Tabletop Tactics. Head over there and watch some of their battle reports. That 8th edition stuff's really good. He was kind of suit heavy, I think, in the beginning. More riptides and suits, much like what you were talking about. And he's kind of just switched to Fire Warrior heavy.
Yeah, he's got that one where he castles in the corner, hasn't he, against the Dark Eldar. But Dark Eldar are filth now. They're like, oh, if you move, you get a penalty. Not if you're Dark Eldar. Oh, you don't get many shots. Not if you're Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar, I think, are going to be
they're okay. One of the videos, one of the persons who's offered to speak and do this kind of video for us is John from Physicast, and he's got a Raven Wing list. He has an old Raven Wing list from 7th. He's just changed his list massively for 8th. He's never took flyers before. He's now got flyers, etc. So I won't spoil it. We'll go through that now. But I've played them a couple of times, and they are good. They're not broken good, but they are good now, Ravenwing specifically. And obviously Ravenwing, he limits himself to just a third of the codex because he doesn't take any Deathwing stuff or any Green Wing, as we call it, stuff, just Ravenwing. But they have a lot of combos that are quite dirty and quite interesting actually as well.
That would help if Dark Angels and Dark Eldar were the same thing.
Yeah. Are you talking about Dark Eldar?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Dark Angels. We've also probably, right, TG's link here, right, Martin Waller's going to be on with his Dark Eldar. Yeah, see?
Yeah, they're good now.
You played your brother's Dark Eldar.
Yeah, and they've just...
Now, in an old 7th edition game, Martin's Tau versus Tristan's Dark Eldar, I don't think anybody could really question what the outcome would have been.
No, not even close.
Tau would have won near enough every time.
Yeah, but the thing is now, they've lost monstrous creature and all that they're on 4s always to wound now, unless it's a vehicle. So that's another thing that Tau's lost, is that they're just infantry. Which is fine, because you only have infantry, monster and vehicle now, don't you, and flyer. Those are the key words.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fine. I really like this edition. I like how it's done. I just think if you're going to do Tau now, don't, even though I love cool models, like all the armies I want to do, like I've got an Eldar army where it's got 3 Wraith Knights.
I told you before, literally he's that guy. Riptide Wing and Yavara and Storm Surges in one list.
And
Wraith Knights and Scatterbikes in the next list. He was just as on a list that was Imperial Guard Flyers. Thank God for the GWFAQ. No, I'm joking. That list wasn't that.
That was going to be a fun one. Yeah, that was going to be the old. Anyone who's played for a while, the old flying circus where you had multiple Valkyries with veterans and then multiple assault weapons because it was cool. You dropped out. It was themed. Anyone who's read Gaunt's Ghost, there's a bit in it. Have you read all the Gaunt's Ghost?
I've read some of them.
Yeah, where they smash. They hear like the hover, don't they? They smash through the building in the black armor, everything, the carapace armor, the hell guns open. That was what I envisioned. And then they're like, the next day, it's like, oh, literally again, like with the Storm Surges, I was like, I'm pricing it up. I can do this. I'm going to start buying them. And then the next day, it comes out that you can't have flyers. I was like, well, I'll...
But that's because people ruin the game for us, mate.
Yeah.
That's because people take Storm Raven spam and GW, thankfully, in the new edition, GW go, nope, we're fixing that. You're not having that for 2-3 years before we fix this edition. We're changing that straight away. Thank God. And I really like that about GW. It's been out a month. They've got 2 FAQs, something like that.
Yeah.
It's excellent. But it does hurt what was actually quite an essentially fluffy list, I think. It would have been quite fun to play as well. It wasn't broken, but because people abuse, and like I said earlier in the video, especially when it comes to tournament games, people will exploit the rules, because that's what you do. If there's a rule to be exploited, people will exploit it for their own benefit. GW are clearly clamping down on that now. And it's because people exploit rules. So if there's a unit you hate, and you don't want people to take them anymore, just start spamming it. And they'll probably come up with a rule to change it, and it's gone, and everyone's happy, don't they? Me personally, I genuinely believed in 7th edition that Tau were overpowered.
They were.
I was an Eldar player, so I couldn't really talk, but I thought Tau were overpowered. And I thought, this edition, I thought they needed to get hit with a nerf bat. They needed to be calmed down, and I question if they've gone too far the other way, perhaps, just about. Maybe the Codex will change. Codex will bring stratagems, you'll probably have a different type of detachment, you'll have warlord traits, relics, etc. So it will, I'd imagine it will improve them slightly and change the way you play. But currently, compared to where they were, I actually feel a little bit sorry for the people that spent a lot of money on Tau, who have now, they're not unplayable by any sense of the imagination, but they're nowhere near where they were, I think, now.
They've still got the wow factor like when you put on 3, but it comes back to what you're saying, it's a bit more fluffy. Like, if you turned up with 2 Storm Surges, which is meant to be like the ultimate technology, like the list that I was planning to buy, it's like there was in Warhammer Fantasy, I didn't talk about it, but there was only meant to be like 3 or 4 steam tanks, I know, right, in the whole of the Empire, and people were rocking up with 2 steam tanks. You're like, oh, they managed to find 2 out of the 4, did they?
Literally no idea what you're talking about.
There you go. But it's the same with Riptides. Like, you're meant to have multiple suits, Crisis Bodyguard suits, but you're not meant to have multiple. Yeah. So if you're rocking up with like 2 Storm Surges, it's like, well, where did they get those from?
People with 2 Storm Surges, 3 Riptides, the Yavara, and a couple of suits.
Yeah, I know.
Those guys.
Yeah, and it won't suit. You need to have boots on the ground, and it will be quite fluffy. But I just think that Tau's fluff of using lots of fire warriors and drones and stuff, you're not going to see, because drones aren't that good anymore. Markalites, they're cool because they don't disappear when you use them, but you're not going to use them because they're not worth it. You might use the gun ones. The breaches, I had a cool idea doing the breaches where you come out and suicide. But
you really have overeaten, haven't you? You're struggling.
Yeah, I have.
Bland made me a lovely dinner. Wine and dined me. Wine, candles, everything. It was amazing, but he is overeaten now.
I have a bit. But yeah, and the breaches are another one. Like, the breaches are really cool, but you're not going to see them because they're a suicide unit and they're not going to do anything.
Perhaps.
So I think it'll be good to see what people come up with Tau. I think you'll see Fire Warriors will be cool. Fire Warriors double shooting. Castling, but it'll be quite dull to be a Tau player. I think suits are the way.
I genuinely thought some of the old lists were quite dull as well. They were very much a stand and shoot force to a point, and I don't like that. I like to move around a lot. But hey, we'll see what happens. Well, I'd love to play at some point, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the list performs. I know there's a little part of you. He's thinking about selling them. If anyone's interested, don't, because I'm trying to get him to donate them. I'm not sure that's ever going to happen. But yeah, it'd be good to see how they play now. I want to play Lee's Tau because see how they play. He's currently obsessed with his Space Wolf Dreadnought list, which is interesting.
I'd have that with that list. I'm pointing at it to him on the camera. I would have that.
That's a challenge. Leo will take that on every day of the week.
The Yavara would eat him. Like, the Yavara would eat him.
It has 9 Space Wolf Dreadnoughts and an Imperial Knight in 2,000 points.
Oh, I think the Yavara could kill a knight easily in 1 turn, and then...
It'd be interesting, I think.
Oh, yeah. That would be a laugh, that would. You come into combat, I'd have him.
Yeah, cool.
It'd be an experience.
Right, well, we'll wrap this up in a minute, I think, and then we've got basically about half an hour of the footage, and then we'll say thank you to Martin and probably never see him again. No, I'm joking. We'll hopefully get some battle reports on in the very distant future, like I say. It'd be cool to see this Tau again if he doesn't sell him and cries into the corner. The thing is, we're going to keep. What we'll actually do is we'll keep videoing Martin, and then whatever he says he's going to get next, don't buy it because it will become unplayable in about a month.
Unbelievable.
That's what we'll do. Right, so it's been a new series of videos. I don't know how well this has worked. I'll find out when I edit it. I think it's going quite well. It's been quite interesting. It's nice that Martin knows a lot about his Tau and he's still quite interested in them, even though they've been smashed a bit. It's interesting to find out that they've been smashed a bit. Interestingly, later on this week, I'm hoping to be going and seeing Martin Waller and recording his Blood Angels and his Dark Elder. 2 armies of which I think have really benefited from 8th edition. Yeah. So he's gone the other way. I'm going to do my own Eldar video. It'll be really weird because I meet up on my own. I might have someone like me, a 4-year-old perhaps. And my Eldar, like your Tau, they've been really hit hard and nerfed quite hard. So
my Eldar's been hit hard.
I can't. Just scatterbikes, Farseers and Wraith Knights. That's all he had. You thought mine was bad. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to speak to Waller because his has obviously improved, and I think it's brought him back into playing the game a bit more because he's not quite so much of a put on table, remove models, leave lost. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Talked a bit of tactics. To be fair, as I said before, when the Codex comes out, we'll do a tactics video which is dedicated just to the Codex rather than people's specific lists. But this is quite interesting to listen to people that I've played or seen play in 7th and how they now play in 8th and see how much it's changed. Because there's definitely a tactics and playstyle shift within the game nowadays, I think. Not just for the way people play in general, but for each individual army. So it's quite nice to get that feedback from people. And if you're thinking about perhaps starting a Tau army and you've had limited experience with them in 8th, this sort of stuff will be interesting. Hopefully, maybe. You might tell me otherwise. Let me know what you think. If you've got requests for specific armies, it's because I'm near you. If you've got requests for a specific army, let me know. If I can find someone who's got one of those, then we'll do it. I've got another Tau player, I think. There's a Dark Angels Ravenwing. There's Dark Elder. There's Blood Angels Ultra. Loads of friends. I'm so popular. Just because I'm famous now with my 21 subscribers. 21 today. Yeah. Big time. Big time. I can quit my job soon. I can't quit my job. I'll be at home all the time and then she'd just nag me. What's going on here? That's my timer saying we're done. So, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Spread the word. Please like, comment, and more importantly, subscribe. Subscribers are important because then you keep getting all these free videos that I'm putting lots of hard effort into. What I might do for each guest, they might have to do the MOAR thing for me. That'd be cool.
No.
He wants to do it.
No. No.
Oh, let's have a look. I bet Martin will do it. Martin will do it because he's cool.
Yeah, he will.
Right, well, I tried, but someone's not playing the game. Hopefully when this one's out, people go, well, he looked really quite sad then. People will get involved.
It's because they've got a Tau.
Yeah!
When you start asking the Dark Eldar players to do it, they'll be like, yeah, I'll do that. I mean, 8th edition is my friend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's because you're a bit butthurt, which is understandable.
Not that bad. I would be a lot more butthurt if I had Eldar and Tau. Oh
wait.
Yeah.
And you're planning a flyer list.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've digressed. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.
MOAR!
Yes, he did it!